Hello and welcome to the Roasted and Barreled Review. We are here on our last episode of Season 8. Where in this season we are reviewing coffee subscription services and the coffees that they offer and whiskeys. Today we have Intelligentsia Coffee and Benchmark Bourbon. Now for Intelligentsia, it's just another one that I was looking for online to kind of compare, saw it was recommended, and went with it. And with this, we are reviewing the Ethiopia Metad Chichele. Is very hard to pronounce. I will have it in the description. Now, for this coffee, or for this service, actually, for the service, they didn't do too bad, but it wasn't. There were definitely some areas that could have seen improvement. Trying to pull up what I need to pull up here. Give me a second. All right. So if I pull up my handy little chart, which you will see at the end of this episode, Intelligentsia Coffee, they didn't get the delivery first, but they weren't last. They were a little slow on the swap test. They did actually do it. There was no smell. They weren't the cheapest. They did get freshness, so they did have the date on it, and it was within 7 days of me receiving it. And I mean roast date. They did good on unsubscribed. It was just the other companies just went that extra mile. Now for the coffee itself, the Ethiopia Metad Chichele. It had a very fruity smell. The bag says blood orange and apricot. I don't even know how to quite identify that. I get the citrusy blood orange, but apricot not so much. There was an enjoyable grassy type smell to the beans. It had a chocolate smell amongst brewing and a subtle taste of vegetable to it. It was average. Definitely wouldn't recommend buying it based on the coffee alone. See, a little foreshadowing. Now, Benchmark. Benchmark is a Benchmark, in this case, Benchmark Single Barrel is a Buffalo Trace product. It is one of the lines of Buffalo Trace. You know that there's a Blanton's line, but most of their stuff isn't available in the U.S. There's an E.H. Taylor line, and then there's the BTAC line. But the Benchmark line is kind of Buffalo Trace's blue collar line. It's very cheap. It's available for now if you can find a bottle, but there's no guarantee with all Buffalo Trace products. Every Buffalo Trace product is getting scooped up, with the exception of maybe Wheatley vodka. And honestly, the more I see of Harlan Wheatley, I'm thinking about definitely looking at it and grabbing a bottle of Wheatley vodka. Anyways, but the Benchmark bourbon, I first came into contact with it at a bourbon club, tasted it, liked it, thought I'd put it up on the show. Now, how did it do for the show review? For the single barrel, as I said, I was blown away when I first tried it. It was still pretty good this time. There is a present taste of caramel in this. It's not like double oak, but it's not something that you can be ignored. When you hear something's great value, like this is, it feels like somebody's telling you to date somebody who has a great personality. Kind of makes you worry, but I'm telling you, this is cheap and this is solid good bourbon. It's definitely, I'd say it's better than Buffalo Trace itself. It's not so much better than Old Forester. It doesn't quite meet the standards to beat, say, Maker's Mark or Woodford Reserve. It would probably smash Jim Beam White Label, probably beat Four Roses, and would tie up there with a Wild Turkey 101. But this is a solid bourbon buy. Now for for the pairing, this was insane. This was absolutely insane. This was so good. There was a caramel flavor that really opened up upon this these two being mixed. It was sweet and so good. This could be the pairing of the year. I'm saying it's that good. It tastes completely like it resembled something new, and I'm gonna have to look further into these two separately to see what it was and if it can be replicated with other things. But overall, this pairing was very good. Definitely buy on the pairing. Probably best of the season and maybe best of the year. I think just to kind of get the best ofs out of the way now that we got that review out, the best coffee was Black Rifle's Gunship. The best whiskey would probably be Stellum, with a close second being Green Spot. The best pairing is, as I said, the Benchmark and the Intelligentsia. Kind of all over the place. Now let's get to how the coffee subscriptions ended up and where they stacked up against each other. Here. So in the categories that we were looking at, we wanted to see delivery, taste, whether there was something included, the swap test, cost, smell, freshness. Are they including like a custom thank you? Like, is somebody writing thank you in Sharpie? Are they making it possible to return the item? And do they leave you alone after you unsubscribe? So in the delivery, this one was a category of only one company would get it, and that was Equator. They were the first package to receive. All the packages were ordered at the same time, and that's kind of how it happened. Down to taste, I understand that's most subjective, but it also matters a lot. Grounds and Hounds and Black Rifle both got this. Whether there was a sticker included, this one was important to me because that's one of the knickknacks that kind of drive business and that I would want as a consumer, and nobody really did that. I think it adds good brand awareness, but who knows with the cost these days. I gave a half point to Grounds and Hounds because they included bandana, which is something to kind of remember your brand. Now with the swap test, what we're going here is not just to get free coffee, but it was more of like, can you work with them? What happens if a package is damaged or for some other reason needs to be exchanged? None of the packages were damaged, but well, you'll see here, but it was pretty good experience with every company. So if you just did the swap, you got 2 points. Everybody got 2 points. Now, in the response to the frequency, how quickly you responded, Black Rifle really kind of did a good job here and was the quickest to respond, followed by Grounds and Hounds and Intelligentsia. Yeah. With the cost, Black Rifle and Grounds and Hounds were tied, I believe, at about 15, 16 bucks. So that was pretty good. Obviously, you want the cheapest one you can get. Smell, like I like a coffee where you can smell it from the bag. I don't know if that detracts later, but it is a very nice touch. And Grounds and Hounds was the only one who I got this from. Freshness. Freshness is decided by, is it within a week of the shipping date? Can you see that it was roasted? And with Grounds and Hounds and Black Rifle, I couldn't see it on the bag, but with Intelligentsia and Equator, I could, so they got the point. Nobody did the thank you. I created last minute the possible return for Grounds and Hounds because when I was going to do the swap test, Grounds and Hounds was the only one that really included a form on that round to be able to send it back. With unsubscribing, what I was looking for is, I understand that some companies try and retain business and will send follow-up emails after you unsubscribe, but I'm really looking for 3 or less emails after I unsubscribe, and all the companies were pretty good with that. With a total of a possible 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 5, 7, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11, 12, 13. Out of a possible 13, Grounds and Hounds came in first with 10.25 points. Black Rifle Coffee came in second with 8 points. Intelligentsia came in third with 5, or Equator came in third with 6.5 points. Intelligentsia came in last with 5.75 points. That's all I have for this season. Until next time, enjoy your coffee and your whiskey.